Hi everyone, good morning to and welcome to another episode of Fat Furious and Effed. I'm your host, Mike Rendino. I know I'm a little tired, weary, a lot of storms lately coming through 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And just waking me up a little bit earlier than I wanted to, but wanted to get this broadcast out there today because I've got a lot going on, as I'm sure most of you do. It's nice outside, at least up here in central New York, and of course summertime, so people are out there out and about. So I'll just get into the episode here, and hopefully some or most of you will get back to me with your thoughts, comments, and feedback either on my website at michaelarendino.com or here on YouTube or whatever venue you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on all of them, Twitter, etc. So one main topic today I want to get to trolling. If people, for the ones of you that don't know what that term means exactly, a troll is somebody on the internet that likes to post negative comments, thoughts, feedback, etc. on someone else's post. Whether somebody's, like, say I put a post up there, I think Biden's a lunatic, and then somebody will troll and they'll come back under my post and say, yeah, right, Trump's an orange-haired freak or something like that. That's trolling. That's just like a basic form of it. But I've seen so much trolling going on, and even for innocent stuff. Like I threw a fundraiser for people that are heavy and picked on and stuff. Like an anti-bullying thing, and somebody had something negative to say about that. I was really disappointed because this person's been a longtime friend, Facebook friend, etc. And I think that the COVID and the rioting and the racial animosity, etc., is really taking a toll on all of us. And I think a lot of people just lash out and they don't mean to, when they go and attack other people innocently. So I just wanted to say to everyone out there, you're going to do, say, think what you're going to do, etc. But just remember, whatever you post on the internet stays there forever, even after you delete it. There's ways of pulling that data back up. I mean, look at some of these politicians when they go against other rivals, somebody trying to vie for their office or whatever. It's amazing the dirt they find on each other 20, 30, 40 years out there, and people can still find stuff. So if we could all, be more cognizant and hopefully treat each other better, get along, and kind of put some of that other stuff aside, some of that negativity, I think, actually, I don't think, I know that in the long run we're going to be a lot better off than we have been. Moving on, as far as the trolling and just like, another thing, statue desecrations lately. Come on, these aren't your statues. People are paying money for these. They're a memory of something, some event, something in the past that happened that we had no control over now. And it's just so freaking sad and ridiculous. And, being of partial Italian descent here, the Columbus statues and more to my heart because of certain members of my family serving in the military, the World War II, Confederate, Vietnam, Korean statues, plaques, even gravestones are being destroyed, graffitied on, etc. What the hell is wrong with people? Grow the hell up. Really, if you're going to desecrate something, desecrate your own room or something. I think a lot of that, and I may be wrong, but this is where I'm seeing things. This is my point of view, my life, and the way I grew up, my social surroundings, etc. A lot of this animosity and bullshit is coming from our politicians and our teachers. Even when I went to Lemoyne as recently as I graduated with my master's 6 years ago, some of the teachers up there, professors or whatever, had this whole democratic, you don't have to listen to your parents or your government agenda. It's, I'm like, no, you're wrong. I get into arguments with some of my professors for like sometimes a whole class or longer. And I'm like, what you trying to teach these young people is wrong. You should stick to your lessons, teach the class, and it would be usually a class like some kind of social sciences class, because I think I had to take one of those for my accounting degrees, etc. or mainly like a philosophy class. And it's not like they're teaching a neutral, biased view and just trying to get people's thought or dialogue. They're actually pushing one type of agenda, and that's wrong. So a lot of our kids today, I mean, the government, you can't discipline your kids, you can't smack them. And I kind of agree with that too. I mean, if you're going to tap them on the ass, at least put the fear in them, that's one thing. But beating the hell out of your kids, yeah, I totally don't agree with that. I was a victim of abuse growing up. And I'm not saying wail on your kids, but you know what? Maybe a crack on the ass or, some sterner punishment that doesn't involve beating the hell out of them, is definitely in order. Jesse Ventura, other politicians have spoken out against this. And I think it's taken our kids and possibly their children to a place, where they can just do whatever they want. They lack the social interactive skills now because everything's done online, hence the trolling. You can go talk shit about anyone you want online without hardly any repercussions, if any repercussions at all. Back in the day in the schoolyard, a kid talked something, smacked you, whatever, you popped him in the nose, he popped you, whatever. You guys fought, usually you became good friends after, and that was that. Nowadays, the animosity, the hate, the shit talking online just goes on and on and on. It never stops. So I'm asking people, please think about what you're saying and doing. And I'll say this now. I have said this before, and I will say it again in the future because I believe it's true. I totally miss the 1980s. To me, that was like the best decade ever. Everyone got along. People helped each other out. It wasn't about race. If you watch the movies, the music from the 80s, there was a mix of white and black with no connotation of race, bigotry, hatred, etc. I know this wasn't the case with everything, but with most everything that I was into, that I watched movie-wise or listened to music-wise, that was not the case. I would love more than anything for all of us to get back to something like that at some point in the future, some type of unity, something to pull all of us together. So I'm hoping people stop desecrating the statues. And you know what, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, nieces, whatever, you should feel free to step in there and say something and discipline your kids, especially if you know they're acting out. I mean, I saw a video the other day, this little, probably 7 to 9-year-old boy flipped a flat screen TV over from the stand onto the floor and was jumping on it, smashing it. It was probably a fake video, but the parents were letting him do it. Then he'd go on to something else. And to me, all this ties together: the trolling, the antisocial behaviors, the animosity, the hate, being able to do whatever you think you can or want to do without repercussions, and that comes from discipline at home. I mean, it really does. You're a product of your environment. I totally 110% believe that we are products of our environment. Some of us are anomalies. We can escape from the area that we grew up in and try to do better and become more. But it really takes other people. It takes a village to kind of get out there, move along, do your thing, get going, etc. And I hope and pray that a lot of you out there will take this message to heart and step up. You see your kid acting out, or somebody, your kid, niece, nephew, someone else's child, a neighbor, whatever. Like, yeah, I'm going to go smash this or burn this business, or, this white mother effer, I hate that, or this black bastard, or whatever, Please take them aside. Explain to them how this is wrong and how they could do something more positive to impact, the situation. I don't get where these kids are getting this BS from anyway. I mean, they're all in school. They all play video games. They're all sheltered. It's not like it was when I was a kid where you were forced to go outside and either play by yourself or with a bunch of other kids. So I don't know where all this hatred is coming from toward everyone else except from the internet and whatever these young people are picking up in the classrooms today, from kindergarten through college. I think the parents need to step in and tell the teachers to keep their political views out of class. We're going to have an anthem. We're going to have cursive. They should probably learn the metric system a little bit instead of regular math or alongside of regular math, because honestly, I learned both systems, metric and our current United States mathematics. And the metric system to me was easy. Everything's by 5s and 10s basically. So, but anyway, please think about it, live it, learn it, etc. Fat, Furious, and Effed. I'm out for today. Y'all take care, have a good day, and I'll see you soon.